So I have brought you a new twist to the story of this man by the name of Joseph and his journey to where he eventually becomes second in command of all of Egypt and one of the most powerful people in the world. But you have to think about something for a moment. If these events concerning Joseph and the wife of Potiphar had not happened and these lies had not been told, it's very possible that Joseph would have spent the rest of his life as a prisoner. But yet there was destiny in the life of Joseph, as I believe that there's destiny for all of us. And I believe that God has his hands in our destiny and in our journey. And I do believe, as the Psalms tells us, that the steps of the righteous man are ordered of the Lord. But there are times in our lives, as it was in the life of Potiphar, at that moment that his wife held up that garment and made these accusations toward a man that he had come to trust in such a way. There begins that time of processing. And processing is very, very important, because a lot of times we find ourselves to where the emotions that we have are all of a sudden they just shoot up to a fever pitch. I mean, here 1 second you were just calm, next moment your heart's pumping and the blood goes to your face and you're just caught in the very grip of your emotions. And a lot of times at those points we make real bad decisions. And there are people all across the landscape who are in prison today because they were not able to deal with their emotions. They were not able to process, and as a result have paid a terrible penalty, and their lives are altered forever. So I believe, as I have read this story as it's unfolded, that when Potiphar got this news, it says, yes, he was angry and he had wrath, but I believe that a man who is captain of the guard, I mean, he deals with crises all day long. And I believe he processed this thing. And he thought it over. And I believe he dealt with his emotions. And he began to evaluate. And that's what you have to do if you want to not allow a situation to get out of hand and things begin to unfold that you cannot ever go back and change. Then you need to learn how to process things. You need to learn how to deal with the emotions, and you need to learn how to evaluate before you move forward and do something that's reckless and potentially harmful. So, I believe that Potiphar did evaluate the situation, but yet he's in a dilemma. He knows he cannot just ignore this and just make it go away. He's got to do something. So this is why I brought this out in the scripture in verse 20, that it says that he literally, physically himself took him to the king's prison, placed him there. That was a place that was in his own house or on his own plantation, so that he could have influence there. And I believe that he did have influence. And I believe that's one of the reasons why he rose so quickly in positions of power there in that prison. This is Pastor Jack King with the gospel on the radio broadcast.